So here are my thoughts and spoilers of episode 2 of Book of Boba Fett, The Tribes of Tatooine. Now I do think this show has a lot of promise, but unfortunately this show is Disney. And when this show needs to go there, so to speak, when it needs to be a bit gangster and a bit violent, Disney unfortunately will never deliver. They might kind of seem like they're delivering on certain scenes, like when John Walker and Captain America decapitated that guy with his shield. But overall, we're never going to get a full-on, hard-ass gangster experience from Disney when it comes to a show about the gangsters in the Star Wars universe, the underworld in the Star Wars universe. I kind of felt that in certain aspects of this particular episode. Don't get me wrong, there were some moments in this episode which were fantastic, especially when it came to the flashback scenes, which in my opinion have become the more entertaining part of this show. But I want to see some carnage. I want to see Boba Fett being this badass, but he's always going to have the handbrake on because Disney are the ones creating this show. I'll give you some examples. When Boba Fett was interrogating his assassin, he threw him down into the Rancor pit, which is fair enough. It was a good bluff, but we never really saw much more after that. We never saw him get killed or, have his worth no longer be needed in any aspect. So what happened to him, we don't know. Maybe he kept a prisoner, but why? We then see Boba Fett interrogate the mayor, who he believes is the person that tried to kill him after extracting that information from the assassin. Boba Fett should have done what he did to Bib Fortuna, just walk in there and shoot the fucker, but he didn't. And Boba's playing a little bit too nice for my liking. We kind of understand that with some of the flashback scenes, but he needs to be very dangerous, and I'm a bit concerned that he's not dangerous enough. We have some interesting scenes with these Hutt twins as well, and I found it kind of funny that these regular people are just trying to hold them up, and my god, these guys, well, one of them's a girl actually, it's a boy and girl twin. They must be very heavy, and that was amusing. We also saw a Wookiee sort of assassin as well, which is interesting, and see how that plays out. But overall, there was not much going on when it came to the present day stuff, and it just didn't feel gangster enough. I really wanted this show to be proper gangster, and when it comes to being gangster, there's some terrible things that need to happen, and we didn't get enough of that. This show, in a way, is more like The Mandalorian when it comes to trying to be like a Western, because when we go to the flashback scenes, we have more of a Western vibe. The Tusken Raiders have taken in Boba Fett. They're teaching him some of their ways, and the main part of the flashback scenes is this speeder train that goes through the deserts of Tatooine, and they like shooting Tusken Raiders as they go through. Boba Fett decides to try to counter this by dealing with some biker gang versions in the Star Wars universe at this particular holdout somewhere in Tatooine. These bikers on speed bikes are there. Boba Fett basically pleads with the Tusken Raiders to go there on his own, and he ends up kicking these guys' asses and stealing their bikes. Now, whilst he was kicking their asses, we should have seen moments of carnage again, but it was really done very quickly, and I just get very upset that we just don't see the brutality that we really need to see in shows like this. You can see that Maoriness coming out of Tamara Morrison when he's doing some of these scenes, that grizzled face of his. I fucking love it, but we don't see the sort of warrior attitude delivered to the people he's fucking over, and that really pisses me off. When Boba returns to the tribe with these speed bikes, they decide to take down the speeder train that is going through Tatooine. Boba teaches them how to use these bikes. Initially they want to dismantle them, but Boba teaches them how to use the bikes, and they end up raiding the train, and this felt like a Western again. This felt like Mandalorian style Western, with a train robbery with these guys, using their speeder bikes like how they would use horses, and they jump onto the train, fuck over the people on the train. There's some nice action scenes, I'll be honest with you, and it was well delivered in that particular aspect. And if Book of Boba Fett was trying to maybe do the action along these lines, it would probably be a lot more entertaining than pretending that it's going to be fucking gangster. And they end up taking over the train. There's this robot sort of train driver, speeding up the train using this booster engine, which is like a bit of a weapon to a degree. But eventually Boba and some of the Tuskens, and unfortunately some of them died during the course of this train robbery, take over the train, and they end up stealing all the goods. And Boba then delivers a message to the remaining people on the train that they're allowed to live and leave, but they must leave a message to their masters saying that if they want to use their speed trains through this route, they will have to pay a fee towards the Tuskens. Now, overall, what we see is Boba earning the respect of the Tusken Raiders in this particular tribe. He has a lizard put up his nose as a gift given to him by the Tusken leader after the train robbery. And this lizard makes him hallucinate, and then he ends up wandering off somewhere, and he grabs a stick, comes back very dehydrated, and then this stick ends up being the stick we see him use in that particular episode of The Mandalorian when he fucks over those stormtroopers. It turns into a Tusken style of stick, so to speak. He carves it himself and creates it himself, and then he ends up joining the tribe. And at the end of this episode, this is where I thought to myself, fuck me, this has become pure Disney again. Because once he's joined the tribe, he does this sort of initiation ceremony where he's doing all this dancing and shit like that, and they're going like this, and it felt, I don't know if it was resembling a Maori tribe or a Native American tribe, but it just felt fucking Disney regardless. Kind of reminded me a little bit of the musical from Hawkeye to a degree, but they're just dancing around, swinging these sticks around, and I thought, okay. But overall, this episode was very hit and miss for me. There were some moments I very much appreciated, and then there were some moments I thought to myself, well, this is Disney at the end of the day, and unfortunately, being Disney is never going to give us what we really need when it comes to a show about the underworld, and that is like the seediness, the scariness of it, the overall nature of we're gonna fuck you over, backstabbing, all of these sort of things, being whacked. I want to see all of that, in the Star Wars universe, Star Wars 5, and if we can get that, I'll probably appreciate the show a lot more. But I just don't think we're ever gonna go there. Let me know what you think. I thought this was an okay episode, definitely better than before, longer than before, which was very much appreciated. But it seems to me that the past is much more better than the present so far. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We've got the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.